Here is another question on completing the square. It says consider the equation 2x squared minus 3x minus 9 equals to 0. Write it in the form ax squared a into x plus p whole squared is equals to 2, and that's the form of completing the square. So all you are required to do is just to complete the square on this equation here, and then to transform it in that form. All right, let me take you through that. So the first thing to do is say you are going to factorize the leading coefficient, or rather the coefficient of x squared. But in our case, we are dealing with an equation, so it is allowed to first take this 9 to the other side. If this 9 comes to that side, it changes its sign to positive 9. So this is allowed. And then the next thing to do is to factorize the leading coefficient, which is 2. Factorize it to your left in the bracket with your x squared, and then this side it's minus your 3 over 2x. This is equals to 9. And then once you have made the leading coefficient to be 1, then you check the coefficient of x. What's the coefficient of x? It's 3 over 2. Half 3 over 2, you are going to get what? Your 3 over 4. And then you are going to square that, and then you add and subtract, adding and subtracting the 3 over 4 all squared, which is the same thing as just adding 0. So we are actually not changing the equation. So that the first three terms, these ones, 1, 2, 3, will give you the perfect square trinomial, which you just factorize by just taking the square root of the first term to get x, and then the square root of 3 over 4 all squared. You are just going to get the 3 over 4, and then this one, and then this one here, we've just squared this, and then 3 squared, that's your 9, and then your 4 squared is 16. Still that 9, it's that side. Next, you remove the square brackets. Removing the square bracket will require you to multiply the first bracket by the 2, and also multiply the 9 over 16 by the 2. So multiplying the first bracket with the 2, this is what you get, and then multiplying 9 over 16 by 2, you are going to get 9 over 8, which we then took to the other side, which is this side here. And then from there, you just simplify these two. Just say 9 times, don't forget this is over 1. This is over 1, and then you just, so this 9 times 8, that's 72. This is 72. Plus 1 times 9, it's 9. This is going to give you the 81 over 8, which is what we have here. And then we have successfully written the equation in the form of completing the square, which is what was required here. Next question said, hence solve for x. Whenever you see the term hence, just know that you are required to do what? To use the answer from your previous solution. So using the answer to solve for x, this is what we are going to do. First, we just wrote that our previous answer, and then aim to make x the subject from this one. First things first, you divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2 by these 2. If you divide both sides by 2, this side is what you're going to have. Your x minus 3 over 4 all squared is equals to 81 over 8 times 2, which gives you what? Your 16 here. And then the next thing, you have to square root both sides. Take a square root on both sides, and then this side, the square root is going to be cancelled out by the power 2 there, and then you are left with that one, this side, and this side you are having your x minus 3 over 4 is equals to square root 81, that's 9, square root 16, that's 4. So this is a plus minus. Take this guy to the other side, and then this is what you have. From here, if you have a plus minus, that simply means you're going to have two solutions. The first one is going to go with the positive, so that's your 3 plus 9 all over 4, same denominator there. And then the other one is going to go with the negative, so it's 3 minus 9 all over 4. And then if you simplify those two, this is your solution. We have successfully solved this equation here by the process of completing the square to find x is equals to 3, or x is equals to negative 1 over 1 and 1 over 2, sorry. just like that. Next question, still on completing the square. You are still given an equation and then you are required to write it in that form. First things first, we first have to, since we are dealing with an equation, you are allowed to take this guy to the other side. Then you are going to have 2 your -6 that side. And then this is what you have now. Then factorize the leading coefficient, which is 3. If you factorize 3, this is what you get. So that 3 times x squared will still give you the 3x squared, and then your 3 times 3x will still give you the 9x. That's equals to 9. Then from here, you just check the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is this one, just ignore the sign there. And then the coefficient of x is 3 divided by 2, or simply half that. This is what you get m squared. And then you are going to add and subtract this on this equation here. So that the first 3 terms here, are going to give you what? The perfect square trinomial, which you just say we factorize by squaring the first term to get x and squaring the last term to get 3 over 2. And then this one squared, 3 squared, it's 9, 2 squared, it's 4. So this is 3, this is 9 over 4. And then from here, you remove the square brackets. Removing the square brackets, this is 3 multiplying the first bracket. This is what you get. And again, 3 multiplying the 9 over 4, you are going to get the 27 over 4. And then next, still have this. And then taking the 27 over 4 to the other side, it's going to change the sign to be positive. And then if you add these two, this is going to be your 24. It's 27 minus 24, which gives you a positive 3 over 4. Next, divide by 3 both sides. Dividing by 3 both sides. Divide by 3 both sides. Oh, sorry. We are not there yet. And this is the form that was required from us, which is this form here. That completes the first part of the question. Then the second part says hence solve for x. So solving for x, just take the answer as it is. Take the answer as it is and just bring it down here and use that. Just make x the subject from there. First things first, divide by 3 both sides. Then this 3 is going to cancel that. This sides, 3 over 4 divided by 3 gives you 1 over 4. And then from there, take the square root on both sides, so that the square root is going to cancel the power 2, and you are left with your x minus 3 over 2 is equals to this side. Square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, so that's plus minus 1 over 2. And then taking the negative 1 over 2, taking this one to the other side, it changes its signs to be a positive, so it's 3 over 2 plus minus 1 over 2. And then the first answer, as always, is going to go with the positive. That's your 3 plus 1 over 2, giving you 2. And then the other answer is going to go with the negative there. And then that's your 3 minus 1 all over 2. 3 minus 1 is 2, divided by 2 is 1. And then those are your 2 solutions. Thank you for staying tuned. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more.